Guys, I can guarantee that no one watching this video right now will remember this episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I am so confident in fact that I am willing to bet you my car. So make sure you watch till the end of the video and then let me know in the comments down below if you remember. The episode starts with Jaden apparently selling Cyrus's bed in order to obtain a single Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. Now this is completely on brand for Jaden, being so Yu-Gi-Oh! Obsessed, selling someone else's materials in order to buy them a card, which probably sounded like a great idea to Jaden. Now I'll be honest, what I'm more interested in is who at Duelist Academy is interested in buying a bed, and secondly, what card was worth a bed. Unfortunately, those details were never shared. Instead, we received Cyrus at breaking point.
You traded my bed for a card!
And whilst frustrated, Cyrus also revealed that his own life had been at risk multiple times whilst knowing Jaden, which to be fair, seems fair enough. Living with Jaden probably isn't all sunshine and roses. Cyrus also threatened that he might need a new roommate. Now in the usual Yu-Gi-Oh! Fashion, a random event occurs which distracts the group, which in this episode was a submarine pulling up at Duel Academy. So bear in mind guys, there is two storylines in this episode. The first one was the feud between Jaden and Cyrus, and now we are getting into the secondary plot and the more prevalent one. Introducing the Admiral, a man who's in his late 40s who speaks in a stereotypical pirate voice and owns a submarine.
And aren't you just a little old to be playing dress up?
Now season 1 is all about the Shadow Riders, a group of elite duelists working for Kagemaru, attempting to collect the spirit keys and revive the sacred beasts. Now understandably, when the Admiral calls out Jaden for a duel, they think he's a Shadow Rider. I mean, who else would he be, right? Jaden willingly steps onto the submarine, followed by Bastion, Chaz and Alexis, who all came to support him. However, one person doesn't follow Jaden onto the submarine, and that's Cyrus, which really hits home because this means Cyrus isn't playing. He really didn't want anything to do with Jaden at this point. Inside the submarine was an entire high-tech duel field where Jaden and the Admiral began their duel. Now Alexis, Chaz and Bastion are in a separate room with the crew, and just to be clear, they can hear every word from the dueling arena. Remember this part guys, because it becomes important later. Also, side note, I gotta say, the Admiral's duel disc is pretty cool. It's literally encrusted in jewels and diamonds and honestly looks great. Now pretty early on in the duel, they discover that this guy has no idea what a Shadow Rider even is, and he definitely isn't one of them.
I'm an ocean rider, not some son of a sprog shadow rider.
Hey, whatever you say, Cappy.
I be an admiral.
So who is the Admiral, and why did he want to duel Jaden? The Admiral, as you can probably guess, has a sea-based deck. Instead of using Umi, uses the legendary Ocean, which makes me feel like this is a Mako 2.0. Now if you think the situation is already creepy, the next words we hear from the Admiral solidifies that very strong feeling.
I know who ye be. Your deck, your victories. Oh yes, I've studied you like a map.
He is a certified stalker. And remember, this guy probably is in his 50s. But the good news is, we finally get to hear the motivations of the Admiral. Now, I gotta say, this surprised the hell out of me, because I didn't expect this. The Admiral wanted to start another duel academy for duelists, but at the bottom of the ocean. Who the hell is this guy? This has got to be the most random thing ever. And it turns out the reason he was seeking out Jaden and stalking him for information was that he could recruit Jaden, and Jaden would help him run the new duel academy under the ocean. Now, as Bastion says,
why not? It is an amazing opportunity.
However, Jaden isn't interested and says no. But little did Jaden know, Jaden didn't have a say in the matter. Once the duel had started, and the Admiral has successfully taken Jaden and his friends out to sea, the Admiral had the power to dictate the rules of the duel. So if Jaden won, the Admiral would let him and his friends leave. But if Jaden lost, he would have to quit Duel Academy and work for the Admiral. So it doesn't sound like someone you'd want to work for. Someone who would employ a kid by force with the threat of keeping them on board forever. Like, where did these psychopaths come from in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX? Now, the truth of the matter is, the duel between Jaden and the Admiral was actually pretty entertaining. There were just some hypocrisies throughout the episode that really annoyed me. The Admiral claimed to have done a lot of research on Jaden. However, when Jaden summons Elemental Hero Thunder Giant, one of Jaden's most popular fusions after the Wingman, he had no idea what that card did.
He automatically destroys one monster with less attack points than he has.
How that be?
I read the card.
And later in the duel, he also had no idea what Elemental Hero Bullman did. Now, once the Admiral starts to lose the duel, he offers Jaden a crazy offer. He says to Jaden that they should stop the duel right now, and Jaden would be paid 1,000 doubloons. Now, for anyone not familiar with doubloons, they are actually gold coins, which according to Bastion is over $1 million worth. The Admiral literally offered Jaden $1 million to come work for him in an underwater duel academy. Now, I won't lie, I've been making fun of the Admiral all this time, but this offer, suddenly it became a lot more interesting. However, Jaden, who has never been driven by money, almost instantaneously refuses.
Do you want to be rich?
Nope.
Now again, I have to make this very clear. His friends heard him turn down the offer. Now the Admiral, trying to convince him, further asks Jaden what he has left at Duel Academy and specifically references Cyrus, saying that Cyrus didn't want him there. However, Cyrus and Jaden falling out was that very same morning on the very same day. So how would the Admiral know anything about that unless he has literal spies or equipment peering into their convos, which is an insane amount of intrusion considering all he wants Jaden for is a job. Also, how does he know very specific things and still not know what some cards do in Jaden's deck? Something just isn't adding up. Now again, referencing the duel, the Admiral summons his boss monster, Leviathan Dragon Daedalus. Now for someone who loves the Leviathan Dragon arts, I respect his deck choice. It's just unfortunate that the duelist is a rich scumbag. Honestly, I wonder if he knows Seto Kaiba. Now Jaden obviously ends up winning this duel. However, the Admiral hasn't given up. Now this is why I hate everything about this episode. The brain-dead people who wrote this part clearly didn't understand or even pay attention to the rest of the episode. Apparently, the Admiral told his friends who were witnessing the entire duel and listened to every single conversation between Jaden and the Admiral that Jaden had decided to stay with the Admiral even after they heard him reject the offer multiple times. They took the Admiral's word for it and took a boat and abandoned Jaden on the submarine all by himself. They didn't even wait to hear it from Jaden.
But the Admiral said that Jaden wanted to stay, I guess for the money.
Even if it was true and Jaden had decided to stay, they didn't even say goodbye or wish him luck. They literally just left. What the hell? If my friends did that to me, I would never forgive them. Like, it doesn't make any reasonable sense, logically speaking. Now, that's not the only thing that's weird. Apparently, Jaden's friends had taken the last boat so that Jaden had no way of leaving the submarine, which is then submerged underwater. And the Admiral literally kidnaps Jaden, even though Jaden won the duel. Like, Jaden could not physically leave the ship and was stuck with a creepy rich man who had apparently been stalking him ever since Jaden made a name for himself at Duel Academy. So how long was Jaden kidnapped for on the submarine?
It's been a whole week since Jaden left.
7 days! An entire week he was kidnapped and his friends were like, he's probably happy and he did it for the money. I would be so incredibly mad at them. Jaden is then seen on a jet ski later on. Apparently he escaped, but he looked rough. You can clearly see that he has dirt and he looks scuffed. Now, we don't know what happened in those 7 days, but probably nothing good. Oh yeah, by the way, do you guys remember the first plot of the story where Cyrus and Jaden weren't friends anymore? Well, they're friends again. Why are they friends again, you ask? What's changed, right? Well, Jaden was gone for 7 days, so nothing really has changed. But you know what they say, guys, absence makes the heart grow fonder. So that's the moral of the story, guys. If you ever argue with your friends, just leave for a week, and when you come back, everything will be fine. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Until next time, guys.